Another thing that I think is really important, right? Like I always say, if you're a homeowner or if you're a buyer, look, if you're a buyer, if you can afford a home, you're going to buy one. Yeah. That's just what it is, right? Yeah. If you're a homeowner, you're going to make a lot of money when you sell your home. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Correct. I don't think you should have a pressure to be like, oh, I should sell my house this year because if I don't, the market might crash and I might miss the boat. I just don't see that in any type scenario, correct. Right? I think the challenge is just one of the other things I want to talk to you about because I know how much time you spend with agents, helping them with business plans and all that stuff. I think the real crisis, we've talked about this, is realtors. The realtor economy is what's suffering.
What do you mean?
I just saw some stats that over 900,000 realtors last year, this is nationwide, sold 0 homes.
That's correct. 75% of realtors across the country didn't. 55% of realtors in Rhode Island did not sell anything.
Yes. Did that change just last year? I think it's historically pretty accurate, right? There's a lot of realtors that don't sell any houses. Maybe it's more last year than normal, but it's been pretty.
I think it used to be like 20%.
Yeah.
I think it used to be 2025. It would be at 0.
Okay.
But now it just went to, like 50, 70%, right? Yeah. And I don't think that this year or 2026 changes this dynamic, So what do you think happens to realtors? Like, what do you think happens? A lot of people calling this the year of the great separator, where, there's going to be people produce and then people who just completely fall apart.
Well, I think it's a good thing, and it's better for the consumer if there's less realtors out there. So when I started in 2012, there was maybe like 2,100 active MLS members. Mm-hmm. I believe, give or take. Okay, now in MLS, I want to say there's 6,000 people in MLS, 6,000 agents in MLS. Yeah, there's 9,100 licensed real estate salespeople in Rhode Island. Wow. Okay, and out of those, again, 55% didn't sell anything. So here's the deal. Here's why I think it's better for the consumer when the producers are selling, because they know the ins and outs of the transaction. They know how to negotiate winning deals. They know how to market a property correctly to get the right buyers in for the home. And when you have somebody that does 1 or 2 deals a year, I'm sorry, but they're just not going to be working up to the level as either one of you gentlemen are. And they're not able to represent their client's best interest because they have a lack of knowledge, a lack of training in many cases. And it's just not going to happen. So consumers get a bad taste in their mouth. And sometimes they blanket statement, the used car salesman or, bad realtors or this or that. So what's going to happen is the level of professionalism is going to increase in our industry, and realtors are only going to get better clout as we take the consumers in and out of, markets.
Okay. So are you saying that a lot of realtors are going to start going out of business? Like the license holders, the numbers are going to drop?
Yes, I think that we'll probably lose, and I don't know exactly, but I would say probably at least half of the realtor population, they're not selling. I can tell you, I own a brokerage, and we've had people leave, and most of our people we have 95% produce, okay? 95% of them produce, but we just had somebody say, hey, I can't afford the board dues. Well, wow, all right, well, we can't cover them. Right. You know what I mean? What's
the point of covering them, I guess?
Well, I'm sorry. You've had a year with us and we're heavy on, like you guys, right? Like we're heavy on production. Like we want to produce. We're giving you coaching. We're giving you the tools. We're giving you the tech. You never show up. If somebody was showing up and they still weren't doing it, I'd probably help them pay for their dues, right? Like, but if you don't show up, like, I know you're not taking this thing serious. Great person, by the way, but not taking the job serious. Yeah. Well, good. Bye. We don't want realtors. We don't want real estate salespeople out there that aren't producing. Because check this out too, right? Think about all the market share that they suck up. If there's, 4,000 agents out there and they do 1 transaction each, the total overall amount of transactions in MLS was 23,300 last year when you include all the different kinds like land, single family, multifamily, condo, commercial. Okay. So that's 4,000 units taken away from the onesie twosies from us. Yeah. It's massive.
And that slows down the level of professionalism, the speed of a transaction, and the overall experience of the consumer, like you said earlier, because they're doing the one deal or the two deals.
A lot of buyers and sellers, they don't know any better either. You know, they're hiring a realtor because they were told, hey, you know, my friend sells houses, but they're not true realtors, real estate professionals, but they're just hiring them because they were told to hire them because a friend, they're a friend of a friend, so we'll just give them the deal. But they don't know any better. They didn't take the time to sit down and look at and interview us three, because they sit down and interview us three. Guarantee you they're going to have a much different experience with the three of us than some person that just said, oh, call my friend. He sells houses, but he's never really sold a house. So the consumer doesn't really have any idea of how professional we are, or other realtors that are great realtors. That experience is going to be drastically different with us than these onesie twosie people. So,
For sure.
you know, I hope we see a change, because I think it's going to be worthwhile for the consumer and for professionals that take this seriously.
For sure.